What happens when one of the greatest metal vocalists of all time calls someone else a god of metal? When Bruce Dickinson, the operatic force behind Iron Maiden, speaks, the metal world listens. And the names he praises might just blow your mind. Stick around, because we're diving into Bruce's personal Mount Rushmore of metal singers. From iconic legends to unexpected surprises, this list isn't just about fame. It's about raw vocal power, influence, and attitude. And trust me, the last name on his list will absolutely shock you. Bruce Dickinson is not just a singer. He's a pilot, a fencer, an author, and the voice behind some of the most iconic metal tracks ever recorded. But Bruce didn't just invent his sound in a vacuum. Like every great artist, he drew inspiration from those who came before him. Singers who defined heavy metal before it had a name. And there's one name he always brings up first: Ronnie James Dio. To Bruce, Dio wasn't just another singer. He was the blueprint. He was a complete singer, a complete frontman, Bruce once said. He had an aura about him. He was the kind of guy who could step on stage and turn an arena into a cathedral. That's not casual praise. Coming from Bruce Dickinson, that's like Michael Jordan calling you the greatest basketball player of all time. Ronnie James Dio's legacy stretches from Rainbow to Black Sabbath to his own band, D.O.B.E.O. His range, power, and lyrical themes practically invented the mystical tone that would dominate metal in the 80s. Dragons, swords, and operatic fantasy, Dio was metal mythology. But Bruce respected Dio for more than just his voice. It was his command of the crowd. Dio didn't just sing to you. He made you feel like you were part of a sacred ritual. That blend of intimacy and grandeur is something Bruce borrowed heavily in his own performances with Iron Maiden. Songs like Hallowed Be Thy Name and Fear of the Dark ooze that same energy. Epic, yet personal. In interviews, Bruce has talked about meeting Dio and being completely humbled. He was a gentleman. There was no ego, just presence. For Bruce, that combination of vocal excellence and humility elevated Dio from rock star to god of metal. But Ronnie James Dio wasn't the only voice Bruce bowed down to. After Ronnie James Dio, the next name Bruce Dickinson often praises doesn't just sing, he wails. He shreds the air with a voice so sharp, so commanding, it's practically weaponized. We're talking about Rob Halford, the legendary frontman of Judas Priest. Now, Bruce and Halford didn't just share a genre, they helped define it. Judas Priest came before Iron Maiden, and Halford's vocal style paved the way for the entire new wave of British heavy metal. But Bruce has never hidden his admiration for Halford. In interviews and casual conversations, he refers to Rob as the true metal god. And that's no exaggeration. It's not just about range, it's about attitude, execution, and influence. What makes Halford so revered in Bruce's eyes? It's the versatility. Halford could go from haunting low growls in tracks like Beyond the Realms of Death to glass-breaking highs in Painkiller. And he did it live, flawlessly, night after night. Bruce once said, "There's a reason we all called him the metal god. He's that scream, that falsetto. It wasn't just a trick, it was an identity." Bruce has even joked that when he tried to mimic Halford's high notes in the early Iron Maiden days, it nearly destroyed his voice. But here's the twist. Bruce doesn't just admire Halford for the sound. It's the legacy. Rob Halford came out publicly as gay in the 1990s, a bold move in a genre that's not always known for embracing vulnerability. Bruce has spoken out on how much he respects Rob's courage and how that honesty made him even more of a titan in metal. Together, Halford and Dio form what Bruce sees as a spiritual lineage, a pantheon of metal voices. But there's one more name he adds to the list. And this one isn't who most people expect. So far, Bruce Dickinson has praised the divine power of Ronnie James Dio and the piercing might of Rob Halford. But the third name he often includes in his personal pantheon? That's where things get interesting. Because this one isn't always about vocal range or pitch-perfect performances. It's about fearlessness. Enter Ian Gillan, the voice of Deep Purple. To some fans, that might seem like a left-field choice. After all, Gillan wasn't purely a metal singer. He came from a hard rock background. But Bruce sees something deeper. He once said, Gillan didn't just sing the part, he became the voice of rebellion. For Bruce, Gillan was chaos wrapped in silk, a singer who could scream like a banshee and then drop into soulful bluesy tones within the same song. Just listen to Child in Time, and you'll hear what Bruce heard, pure emotional combustion. Gillan's screams were primal, untamed. They weren't polished, but they were real. And that's what spoke to Bruce. It wasn't about perfection, it was about passion, he explained. But there's another reason Bruce names Gillan a god of metal. He inspired him to break the mold. Gillan didn't conform. He didn't wear the leather uniform. He showed Bruce that individuality was not just allowed in metal, it was necessary. Bruce himself is proof of that philosophy. From his fencing exploits to piloting a Boeing 747 for Iron Maiden's world tours, he's always marched to his own rhythm. And in Gillan, he saw a kindred spirit. It's not just about who could hit the highest note. It's about who could shake the foundations of the genre. And in Bruce's view, that short list, Dio, Halford, and Gillan, did just that. But here's the final twist. In recent years, Bruce has made it clear that the next god of metal might not be a man. He's praised younger female vocalists like Floor Jansen of Nightwish and Alyssa Whiteglaze of Arch Enemy. There's a new generation redefining metal vocals, Bruce said. And we'd be stupid not to pay attention. So while the gods of yesterday still rule the skies, the future of metal is looking more diverse and just as powerful. And that's what makes Bruce Dickinson's opinion matter. He's not stuck in the past. He honors the legends and welcomes the new gods. Because in metal, evolution isn't optional, it's survival.